World War II. Brave boys doing their duty. Suddenly becoming men, believing in tomorrow. Too many never see that day, but some made it back and deserve to be honored. This is their story. Tonight, two combat buddies meet again after 74 years. Stryker and Terrill. On Veterans Day 2019, the Honor Flight Heroes TV program was broadcast for the first time nationwide. 94-year-old Harold Stryker, Private First Class, was featured in an interview about his World War II experience serving in the Pacific.
Well, I learned a lot while I was in the Army. Going in there at 19 years old, I had 3 weeks of training down here to Camp Wheeler, Georgia. We're out on maneuvers, and they said, called us back in and said, you gotta get your bags packed, you're going, we're shipping you out. So we got it figured out for 5 of us. Took training together and started out in the service, kind of wiggled ourselves back and forth, so we all got to go to the same outfit, which made it very nice. I mean, otherwise you're going into perfect strangers. And a place like that is no place to be trying to make friends with anybody. We stuck together all the way through the whole thing for some reason. I don't know how the hell we did it, but the second day of the invasion is when we joined the 96th Division.
The 96th Infantry Deadeyes suffered 1,625 killed, 7,500 wounded, and 32 missing in action, the highest rate of casualties within any of the 7 divisions involved in the Battle of Okinawa. At 93 years of age and residing in Manchester by the Sea in Massachusetts, one of the 5, Sergeant Vincent Terrill, thought all of the other 4 of his band of brothers had passed on. That is, until the Honor Flight Heroes program was broadcast, and he realized his friend Harold Stryker was still very much alive. Terrill reached out to Honor Flight to make contact with Stryker, and soon plans were put into motion by Honor Flight Rochester of upstate New York and Honor Flight New England to bring these 2 brave surviving soldiers together again after nearly 75 years. This is the story of Honor Flight Heroes Reunion. Stryker and Terrill, 2020, together again. Friday, January 3rd, 2020.
Hey there, how are you, son? Hi there, old man. I love you.
Harold Stryker boards the Honor Flight van. And so began the 403-mile journey. Arrival scheduled for 3 p.m. at Manchester by the Sea, Massachusetts. At every pit stop, Stryker tipped his hat to all who wished him well. On the road, Harold passed the time by listening to country music and enjoying the ride. He also shared his opinion on many subjects.
World War II was supposed to stop all wars. How come this country is still at war? I got the answer. Hey, Vinny, I'll be here in a little while. It's Harold, down here in the sign.
Waiting in a service area just off the Massachusetts Turnpike, local and state police greeted the Honor Flight van to provide escort for Stryker to Manchester by the Sea.
Pleasure to meet you. It's an honor. How are you?
Nice to shake hands with a good person.
Wow. Thank you for saying so. I'm not sure if you're a bad judgment of character or a good one, but I want you to know I'm a true American anyways.
You said the right thing.
The 94-year-old vet mesmerized the officers with the wartime stories he shared with Vincent Terrill, the 93-year-old vet they're about to meet. It was time to go. Soon, two friends who have not seen each other in 74 years will reunite again. Manchester by the Sea, Massachusetts, the home of Vincent Terrill. Preparations have been underway since mid-morning at Post 113, American Legion Hall. Thanks to the efforts of Honor Flight New England, the Manchester by the Sea Fire Department, Police Department, and American Legion, a hero's welcome was awaiting Stryker and Terrill. At 2:45 p.m., Vincent Terrill arrived at the American Legion Hall to greet Stryker.
Terror, you're on fire!
Just so you know, they're just getting off the exit a mile out.
At 3 p.m. sharp, the big moment. Harold Stryker arrived.
How the hell are you?
I still walking without a cane.
Yes, I was on a cane, but I'm not.
You're not now.
And I'm going to, I'll tell you what,
What?
I'm going to be marching this year in,
In the parade?
that's right, Memorial Day.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you, folks, this is the only 2 left out of 5 to go do the service together.
God bless you guys.
I'll tell you, God bless you. It wasn't light duty either. Took honor flight to get me to say something. And on the honor flight, I come out and told my history.
Why don't we bring you guys inside where it's warm?
Well, that sounds like a hell of a good idea.
And so started a weekend remembering World War II, and a time 2 teenage boys bravely fought for the United States. It was also the start of new memories as 2 men still with us celebrated life. The Manchester by the Sea American Legion post was crowded with people wanting to thank Stryker and Terrill for their service.
As thank you for your service and welcome to our communities. We really appreciate everything you've done and we welcome you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's like a mom that's only 2 years older than you are. Maybe 3.
You two are still just as charming as anything.
Back together, the two buddies acted like a well-rehearsed comedy team.
I think anybody in here, they can't hear me. Just say you can't hear me, then just get a little closer.
What he said was that he's surprised to see all the good-looking women here.
That's right, I have them all over the country. Not here, coast to coast.
Coast to coast.
Yeah, coast to coast. I have them. You name it, I got them all over. There's one right out there, nice woman.
I saw her, met her.
Yes,
I asked if she wanted to dance, and she didn't want to dance.
You want to dance?
No.
You lost out there, didn't you?
I first met Harold at Macon, Georgia in 1944, where we were training. It started out to be 15 weeks, but
September 28th.
September 28th is the actual date. Harold just told me that. And I never believed what he told me, but maybe I'll believe that. Anyway, this fellow with us, private law, LAW, and I was standing near him, and we had a little canned heat, strike a match, and it gives you heat enough to put your coffee canteen down there and warm it up. And he leaned down to put his coffee on the little can of heat. And when he leaned down, a Japanese sniper that was up in a tree that we had not seen shot. And of course he was aiming right at private law. But Law leaned over and he shot, the Japanese soldier shot Law in the ass. It is funny, so you can laugh. After the battle, they were giving out Purple Hearts and so forth, and my friend here got a Purple Heart. I didn't, because I didn't put my ass in the way of any bullets. A lot of fun out there, right?
Yes, it was. A lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
At the closing of the reception, Vincent Terrill received an invitation from Honor Flight New England.
Well, I always say I started Honor Flight back in 2009, and we've transported over 2,000 heroes, 2,100 heroes now. And every single day that we live this, we have to cherish it, because we're losing the most incredible people that have ever walked this earth. So we have to cherish our time with them. So I have a certificate for Staff Sergeant Vincent Terrill, World War II veteran, U.S. Army, in recognition and appreciation for your service to our country. We would like to invite you on an upcoming honor flight. We will be forever grateful for your service and sacrifice for our country. Thank you.
Vin's calendar was marked for April 26th, the date of the first Honor Flight New England trip for 2020. We asked Joe Byron, founder, what Vin could expect to experience that day.
Sure, we travel out of either Boston, Logan Airport, or Manchester, New Hampshire, and we meet very early in the morning. We fly into BWI, and our first stop is usually the World War II Memorial, followed by Korea, Lincoln, and Vietnam, to the changing of the guard, over to the Navy Memorial, the Marine Memorial, Marine Corps Memorial, and then we have a sit-down dinner, and then we get to the airport. and we have a dancing session before we come back, and we play music of their era, and we ask them to send us pictures of when they served, and we give them pictures as a memento with the date of the flight and honor flight, and then when we play Sentimental Journey, we give them these pictures, and so they have a memento when they go home.
Vin Terrill shares 2 harrowing wartime recollections while serving with the 96th Division Deadeyes during the Battle of Okinawa, 1945.
Company C had been called off the main line for 5 or 6 days because they'd lost so many men, and we were the replacements. And on the very first day of battle, a man beside me that was already in Company C, he got hit, and I was beside him, and the captain yelled to me, Captain Ellison yelled to me and said, "Take that radio off his back and put it on yours." And so I did that. And then Ellison told me, "You're my radio man." I wish I could say that I was chosen for being such a good-looking guy or something, but I wasn't. I was chosen because I was the closest one to the guy that got hit. And I was with Captain Ellison. From then on, I was with the officer in command because I had the only radio. Ellison, shortly after that, we were waiting to attack one of the Japanese positions. And Captain Ellison was the only one that was standing. The rest of us were sitting with our rifles and so forth on the ground there. And Captain Ellison was talking to us, and all of a sudden, a sniper that was up in a tree that we hadn't noticed hit him. The bullet hit him right in the head. He fell down right on top of me, dead. The lieutenant became the commander immediately, and he was our commander for the rest of the war, Captain Newell. There were various battles that we were in at this war. One that we remember real well is when we were attacking Yazu Zeki. That was a cliff, maybe 150 feet that we had to climb with our hands, and enemy were dropping hand grenades down on us, and that was the time when I first knew that this was for life or death. And this guy, I don't remember his first name because his last name was Anderson and everybody called him Andy. And Andy was one of the first ones that climbed up to the top of Yasuzaki, and because he'd gone up sort of on the side of the cliff where the bulk of the firing was in the middle, and so he was the first one that could get up there, and took his rifle off his shoulder and started using it. And I'm with the captain. We're at the bottom of the cliff, and I looked up and saw Andy hit by a Japanese mortar and immediately disappeared from my sight. He was hit direct and killed, and his body splattered all over. That was a sad awakening for me. And I knew that I knew I was at war when that happened. It just disappeared. And I started thinking after that, what do they send home when they got nothing but scraps to put in that casket? It bothers me now. People get home and sent home like that, and parents and loved ones and friends and wives are crying over a empty basket.
Sunday morning dawned at Manchester by the Sea with beautiful blue skies and brisk winter air. As a train rolled by in the distance, the doors to the First Parish Church were opening, ready to welcome Harold Stryker and Vincent Terrill to a special service celebrating their reunion. The honor flight van parked near the entrance in time to let Stryker and Terrill join the 10 a.m. gathering congregation. The word had spread across Manchester that the two vets would be in attendance. Photos of them as young servicemen graced the mantel in the entranceway. Both were greeted with hugs and good wishes as they made their way down the aisle to their seats in the front row. Soon, Vin approached the pulpit to say a few words. He introduced his friend of 75 years.
Harold Stryker. I hadn't seen him in 74 years until yesterday or the day before, and now he's going to be leaving from home, and today in fact, and it'll probably be another 74 years before I see him again. I'll be in heaven, and I'm quite sure he'll be in hell. So, come April 1st, I'm going to be flown down to, I've never been flown before, but anyway, I'm going to be flown down to Washington, D.C. We are, Harold and I, are the honor flight heroes.
The morning passed and the sun continued to shine. After church, it was almost time for Harold to leave.
Yeah. You're not taking us back to New York, are you?
You want to come back to New York with us?
You get in there. We'll decide after you get in there if we'll take you back. You get you in there far enough so you can't get out, then we'll take you back.
Did you hear that?
No.
They said at church they heard quite a bit about you. And he kind of said it that way, you know, we heard quite a bit about you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
More than they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, this has been an experience. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be sorry to see everybody go.
Back to your house already?
Only one more stop at Vincent Terrill's house was possible before the honor flight van had to depart to return Harold Stryker to Victor, New York.
And your tea, sir.
We loaded up all your bags and everything.
Okay.
Are we going to go in for a minute?
Yeah.
Good, because it's very cold out here.
And a few that had the pleasure to meet you, quite a few of them that had the pleasure to meet you, are saying they were really impressed with just how well you are, how you carry yourself, how great you look and everything. And everyone down that Legion Hall is still buzzing about that. You know, the Legionnaires really makes them happy, you know, that one of their own is getting on. Whether they were in World War II or Vietnam or what they were in, and they're really buzzing down there.
What was that? That was a sort of a signal. I'm not going to kiss you.
No, I ain't
No
kissing
way.
you. I ain't kissing you either, but,
No way.
but I will give you one hell of a good hug. It's been a long time, buddy. All right? Yeah, how's that?
Yeah,
I love it.
thank you for coming.
I loved it, every minute of it.
Thank you very much.
I hope I figure out how to get down here when you come back from your flight, but you got it in mind, you got it.
You'll be here. Thanks for having us here.
All right, Dawn. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at this.
Oh dear.
Come in here, come in here. Get in here.
Get in here. Can we get a smooch?
Oh, thank you, darling. Yes. Hey, get around. Let him get a picture of us.
Mommy, keep
Yeah.
going back. Keep backing up. I can't back up any farther.
Thank you, darling.
On March 13, 2020, Honor Flight announced that all spring flights were canceled due to COVID-19. Therefore, Vin was unable to take his planned honor flight in April. Vincent Terrill passed away peacefully on June 24th at his home in Manchester by the Sea, Massachusetts. Harold Stryker had a new mission to be sure his combat buddy made his honor flight trip in spirit to the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. On Friday, October 2nd, 2020, the Honor Flight van transported Stryker to the Washington, D.C. area. But before the memorial visit, there was a special surprise waiting at a local Mission Barbecue restaurant. Mission Barbecue is a chain of restaurants approaching 100 locations, founded by two friends in 2011 who believe there is nobody more American than the brave heroes who protect our country and communities. And there's no food more American than barbecue, and they cook it up oh so good. The restaurant walls display mementos of brave service, and today, Harold Stryker and Vincent Terrill will receive a permanent place of honor. We asked owners Newt and Bill their secret to success.
When we settled on barbecue, there's nothing more American than barbecue. And there's nobody more American than somebody that protects, serves, and saves this great land of ours. Be it if they do it in our community, or if they put on the cloth of our nation to fight to keep us free and to keep us safe. And it was really those two simple premises, barbecue, which has withstood the test of time, and service to one's community or country. We'll meet 18-year-old enlistees, and then have the privilege of being around 100-year-old World War II veterans. And when we look at it, our work will never be done because neither will theirs. And yet, we get the easy job. We get to just serve food and say thanks.
And we knew at the very beginning that we wanted to build a brand that gave back. that provided significance and meaning to people, our teammates, our customers, our community, and our country. So that was important for us and always has been important for us. And I dare say will always be important for us because it's part of our DNA and it's in our blood. And we just feel it's the right thing to do.
Outside the restaurant waits the Honor Flight official motorcycle escort group, nicknamed the Brownies. The group's nickname comes from a chance encounter with a little girl in her brownie uniform who asked if they were brownies too, because of all the patches they had on their uniforms. The question so pleased the group they adopted the Brownies label as their own. After lunch, they will escort Harold Stryker in the Honor Flight van to the World War II Memorial to lay a wreath for Vincent Terrill. Finally, from upstate New York, the Honor Flight van arrives, carrying Harold Stryker.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mission Barbecue is beyond proud to welcome Private First Class, United States Army, Purple Heart recipient, Battle of Okinawa, Harold Stryker. Hey, Private?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Mission Barbecue. And on behalf of my partner and I, we often say about these walls here at Mission Barbecue, if they could talk, they'd tell stories of service.
Yeah.
And a humble thanks for your service. We will be so incredibly proud to frame and display this amazing picture of you and your buddy so that your service is never forgotten.
It's very nice. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. How about if you walk with us over to the wall, and we're going to put it up on the wall,
Okay.
and it'll be here forever.
Tough. We'll have to get that in there.
That's good. That's very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. "19-year-old.
19 years old.
I was 19 years old. Back in '44, September, 3,500 young fellows, 18, 19 years old. We were down at Camp Wheeler, Georgia. Supposed to have 15 weeks of training. We had two bags ready, fellas. We're moving out to California. We got to California. We're on LSTs, went to Hawaii. Well, that's when they told us we was going to Okinawa. The LSTs were a day late getting there. We missed the first day of operation. We arrived there the second day. We got there, the tide was down. So they went in as far as they dared with the LSTs. Well, the LSTs aren't really what you call a passenger boat. They're for equipment and stuff. Well, they turn around and they drop the front of them down. Okay, fellas, get your guns. Let's get going. Started out. Wallowed into water, or waist high. Well, the water is wasn't pretty at all. Water was supposed to have been all green like it was when we started out. The water wasn't green. It was red. When I mean red, I said red. Just like the red in your flag you have today. We got on shore. Well, I can guarantee you there wasn't a one of us that wasn't thrown out. We all lost our guts almost.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in honoring our country as we do every day at noon with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early rise what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Lined up and ready to go, the Brownies, the official honor flight motorcycle escorts, waited for Harold Stryker to board the van and be led to the World War II memorial to honor his friend, Vincent Terrill. It was a thrilling ride as the Brownies cut through the busy DC traffic. Soon, the entrance to the World War II memorial was in sight, and the Brownies swiftly brought the honor flight van to the entrance. Upon arrival, Stryker navigated in his own way.
Wait a minute, let me get a turn around here. I'm coming out the wrong way. Now I'm coming out the right way. Go put the bad leg down first.
There we go.
Let's see, you're...
Harold immediately recognized Joe Byron of Honor Flight New England.
Yeah, you're New England honor flight.
He's going to take Vin
And
on
I'm
honor flight.
I'm
We
so
were gonna-
damn glad you asked me to do
Remember, we
this.
were going to do a surprise meeting
I'll
in
tell you,
Boston.
I'm proud that I've never turned it down.
I'm glad you're here.
Because I'm gonna, when I say anything, we're gonna walk up the other one and go down the main part. All right, go down the next one. Go down the main one. Yeah, that's the main one going down. That's the one we'll walk down. Yes, I enjoy this.
Stryker looked out on the memorial and wished his friend Vin was with him to see it. But in his heart, Vin was with him that day. A wreath from Honor Flight had been delivered to the memorial, waiting for Stryker's arrival. Joe and Harold placed the wreath and American flag in position. The beautiful tribute to Vin Terrill's memory glistened in the afternoon sun.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be here in honor of my friend I just lost, and also to honor the American Legion Post 113, Manchester, Massachusetts, where he's a Legion of, and also the American Legion of the Williamson Post, Williamson, New York, where I'm from. I would also include this for all veterans that we lost during World War II, and all of our veterans that we have laying in hospitals today. God bless America.
Mission accomplished. Harold had brought Vin Terrill's spirit to the World War II memorial, as he promised, paying honor and respect in a way that no one else could. The laughter, tears, and memories from the magical weekend when they met again after a 74-year absence will never be forgotten. It was the Honor Flight Heroes reunion, and we were all blessed to have witnessed and have been a part of it.